Hi, welcome back to a view from the fourth floor. It's me, Khalid, and today I'm going to talk about creating and sustaining a high performance learning culture in your organization. Now, in today's fast paced and ever changing business landscape, organizations must continuously adapt and grow to stay competitive. Now, one of the key drivers for success lies in creating and sustaining a high performance learning culture. Now, such a culture not only enables employees to acquire new skills and knowledge, but also fosters innovation, enhances employee engagement, and drives organizational growth. Now, we will explore strategies to create and sustain a high performance learning culture within your organization in today's podcast. First, fostering a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the foundation of a high performance learning culture. It encourages employees to embrace challenges, view failures as learning opportunities, and believe in their ability to develop their skills. By cultivating a supportive environment, an organization can help create values in their staff that looks at curiosity, experimentation, and continuous improvement. And this in turn will encourage staff to learn and improve themselves to face upcoming challenges. Next, investing in learning and development programs. Now, when you invest in employee learning and development, you are basically opening up or giving access to development opportunities to your staff. Now, this is vital in building a high performance learning culture because by providing access to various learning resources such as online courses, workshops, seminars, and mentorship programs, your staff will have access, will have to resources, to programs that can help them develop themselves further in the organization, especially when you ensure that alignment happens with the staff in terms of their own personal development and the business goals. Third, we talk about encouraging continuous learning. By making learning a continuous process that happens beyond, the formal training, we can encourage employees to take ownership of their learning journey. And when they do that, we can explore self-directed learning, where as an employee, you take charge and you look at what your own development needs and make sure that you take care or you focus on the areas that can help you develop them. And as an organization, when you have a productive or a high performance learning culture, you ensure that there are resources to support and the behavior of the staff, where there's a lot more sharing, making sure that people have access to information that can help them do their job, having lots of engagement, discussions, and forums within the fraternity. And this surely will encourage continuous learning in the organization. Fourth is leading by example. When you look at any successful organization, there's always a role model or someone that shows everyone else how is it being done. Then what better way of getting good role models by making sure that you have leaders that actually play that crucial role in influencing and shaping the culture of an organization. Now, leaders, should actively participate in all these learning initiatives. They should demonstrate a commitment to personal growth by, allowing their staff to learn or to go to training or to make sure that they have ample opportunities to develop. At the same time, as leaders, being, more experienced in the organization, they need to also be willing to share their knowledge and expertise. And this will help generate interest from the staff, making sure that they have role models, and then as you share more, you get to see it being replicated across the organization. Fifth, we talk about recognizing and rewarding learning. Now, in some organization they do have learning targets and learning hour quotas and all that. And in certain cases, to help stimulate or to help motivate learning in the organization, they do offer certain incentives and rewards, especially when staff has shown that they are actively pursuing learning to develop themselves. It is important that you balance the extrinsic and intrinsic motivation amongst the staff, because ultimately, by appealing to the intrinsic motivation, whereas the staff really wants to learn because they feel that they are taking charge of their own development, you will start seeing a lot of positives coming out from that, rather than just encouraging staff to learn because they're going to get they're going to get an iPad at the end of the year. Yeah, but still, as a start, sometimes you do need some kind of external motivation. But I guess you can equate it to, you want to get people into the door, and hopefully they stay because they like what they see. And the recognition also will help kind of reinforce the notion that learning is important in the organization, especially when they start looking at comparing amongst staff or amongst businesses, and hopefully this friendly or positive competition will help spur more learning throughout the organization. Six, I think we talk about creating that supportive learning environment. Now, what does it mean? Basically means that whenever someone needs to learn to be better, when they assume a different position, different role, the environment needs to be supportive of their need to learn. Sometimes, you have certain instances where you don't allow people to go training or to go to certain conferences and whatnot because, hey, what happens to the work that they're currently doing? Who's going to take care of that? But ultimately, we have to see it as an investment, right? I mean, when someone goes to training or goes to certain conferences, the benefits or the value that they bring from attending those training and the conferences sometimes can multiply, when they get to apply it in the organization. And we also need to hear or need to allow the staff to raise questions or share their insights, when it comes to their development, because ultimately, we want to empower our staff to be able to think for themselves, right? To be able to decide what are their developmental needs. And as you talk and talk more, as you share more, you will encourage a lot more cross collaboration, cross fertilization of ideas, and that's it's going to be good for the organization. Last but not least, we have to look at how do we evaluate and measure the learning outcomes. Usually when you talk about training, when you talk about upskilling, when you talk about developmental programs, it's always about closing gaps. It's always about personal development and all that. But I think you have to think about how do you measure or justify the outcome, right? I think as you go, businesses, they always talk about how much what is the ROI, what is the return on investment for every training. If I send someone to go to the United States for 2 months, what is the business getting? So this kind of alignment is really important to understand, because investment in training, in development, sometimes it's not as straightforward. You don't see the dollars and cents result immediately. It might take a certain a longer time gestation period for it to bear success. But it doesn't mean that you can just spend and go to training and thing without justification of the returns. So this is where we need to really define what success means and ensure that there's an open channel of communication. We're getting the feedback will help us define or identify whether or not the training is successful and does it really address any gaps and if there's any other areas of improvement. Okay, so in conclusion, I guess creating and sustaining a high performance learning culture in an organization is a journey. And with every journey, it requires dedication, commitment, and continuous effort. So by having a growth mindset, by putting the right investment in learning and development, by encouraging continuous learning, showing the right example, recognizing and rewarding learning, and creating that supportive environment, we can start to look at how you can bring a high performance learning culture into your organization and start reaping the success of the whole thing. So that's that for this episode. Appreciate your feedback if there's anything, or if there's anything else that you guys want to hear me waffle about. Leave comments, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.